right, so today's lesson is 2-5, and we're comparing and ordering real numbers. So the first thing I want you to do is fill in some sentences here. So it says you can compare and order real numbers by writing them in the same form. So one way to do this is to use or approximate the decimal expansion of each number in order to compare or order a set of numbers. So what that means is to round, okay? All right, so example 1 is to compare real numbers. And then we also want to compare it with the greater than, less than, or equal to, okay? And then we want to put it on the number line, okay? So here, the first thing you want to do is you want to simplify what's there, okay? Everybody ready? So, square root of 25 is 5. So this is going to be 5 over 2. And then 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Everybody good? And now we have the square root of 6.25. So you're going to put in your calculator 6.25, and then you're going to get the square root of it, and you get 2.5. So this is also 2.5. So, of course, the symbol we're going to put in the middle is equal. Very good. And now we want to put this on the number line. So when we put it on the number line, you guys, we're going to use tenths on the number line, okay? So, let's see. We've got, let's do 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5. Now, of course, when you are, I'll put another one on, 2.6. All right, and of course, when you put the, when you plot it on the number line, you just put a dot where it belongs, and then you label it with the original format, okay? So here, we are going to label this the square root of 25 over 2, and we're also going to label it square root of 6.25. So this symbol, you guys, right here, this is pi. That's the pi symbol. Now, you guys have a pi button on your calculator. It's right, it's the EXP, right? It's right down there. But I'm going to have you use 3.14. Pi, this is 3.14. Okay? Oh, I might as well just write it down below, 3.14, that's pi. So now we have 9 and 1/4. You can change 1/4 to a decimal. That's one that you should know, right? So what is 9.9 and 1/4? 9.25. Very good. So I should have just left that up there because this says pi squared. So we want to take 3.14 and square that, and that gives us, so this gives us 9.8596. 8596. And of course, 9 and 1/4 is what again? 9.25. Now, I want to, when I put this on the number line, I want to use tenths. Okay? I'm going to use tenths. So that means I need to round these numbers to the tenths place. So that's going to be 9.8. It's going to be 9.9. Okay. And then this one over here, the 5 tells me to go up, right? So this is going to be 9.3. And this is what I'm going to put on the number line. All right, so here we label our number line, and then we plotted on the number. Oh, you know what? We forgot to put greater than, less than, or equal to. What do I put in there? Yep, that's going to be a greater than. Okay, so 9.9 is over here. There's 9.9, and we label it with the original format. So this is going to be pi squared. And then down here, 9.3, that we're going to label that 9 1/4. So now we're going to do the same thing, but now we've got some other kind of format, okay? So we have a negative square root of 5. So on this one, you guys, you're going to do the square root of 5. And that, you have a non-terminating decimal, right? So here, I've got 2.236. I'm going to say 2.236, and that's negative. We're comparing that to the negative 200%, but we want to change percent to decimal. You guys remember how to do that? So we have decimal over here, percent here, and I want to go from percent to decimal. So which way do I move my decimal? To the left. How many times? Twice. So we are going to take this decimal right here, and we're going to loop, and then change and take away percent sign. So this is going to give me negative 2, and I'm going to just put 0.0, okay? Because I want, when I put it on the number line, I want to use tenths, right? So here, if I want to compare, then I want to change this one to tenths, right? So here, this is going to be what? 2.2. So this is going to be a negative 2.2. Is everybody clear? All right. So now we want to put these on the number. Oh, we got to compare, right? Do you want to compare after we put on the number line? All right. So if they're both negative, how am I going to put these numbers on the number line? From right to left. Very good. So let's start over here with 2.0, 2.0. So here I have 2.0, negative 2.0, negative 2.1, and so forth. So negative 2.0 is right here, right? And that is a negative 200%. And then negative 2.2 is right here. And this is going to be a negative square root of 5. So now, what symbol do I need to put in there? That's going to be less than. Is everybody clear? All right. You want to do the next one on your own? All right. Take a couple minutes to do that one. So here we take the square root of 2 and then put the negative. Do not put the negative in there and put square root. It's going to be invalid, right? It's going to be undefined. So it's 1.4, and I just put a few more numbers behind the decimal expansion, and then I'm going to round whatever I need to. So here I did square root of 3. I got 1.732, and now to round them to the nearest tenth, I did that up there, and then we label it, plot it, and label it on the number line. Now we want to compare real numbers and graph them on the number line. So here, we're not doing less than, greater than, or equal to. We're just finding what they are and then putting them on the number line. And like I just said, I'm just, rather than showing the rounding on the paper now I'm just going to do it in my head. I'm going to write down the answer. So here, the first one, we're going to find the square root of 3. So the square root of 3 is, okay. So I'll write 1.732. I'll say 1.732. So this is 1.732. The next one we have pi divided by 2. So you're going to put 3.14 in the calculator, divide that by 2, and that gives you 1.57. So this is 1.57. Okay? Now, the 160%, we want to change the percent to a decimal. So we're just going to move the decimal place 2 places to the left, take away the percent sign, and this gives us 1.6. And then 1.35 repeating. So here, 1.3 with a 5 bar notation over the 5, that looks like this. 1.35555. So, So if I'm going out to the hundredths place, so that means that this number is going to be what? 6, right? I mean, to the thousands place. We want to go out to the thousands place. So that tells me that's going to be 1.356. Still bear with me? So this is 1.356. So we're just rounding it. So now I got to decide what I'm going to put on my number line. Okay? So if I rounded to the nearest tenth, do you guys see what's going to happen? If I rounded to the nearest tenth, what happens here and here? It's going to be the same. So I got to round to the nearest hundredth. Does everybody understand that? So you have to make decisions based on what you have. Okay? So we're going to round to the nearest hundredth because of that. So that means that the first one, this first one is 1.73. Okay? That one's 1.57. That's fine. The 1.6, all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a 0. Yes, add a 0. And then over here for the last one, that's going to be 1.36. Is everybody with me? Everybody understand? So let's put our numbers on our number line. So I'm going to put 1.3 down here. And I'm going to skip that line in the middle, and I'm going to put 1.4 here. Does everybody understand why? So if I go out to the hundredths place, it's 1.30, then 1.40. So right in the middle is 1.35. Does everybody understand that? Okay. All right. So then I'm going to take those zeros out just so we don't get confused. We have space. Take those zeros out. And then finish up our number line. So we've got 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7. Now we can put our numbers on our number line. So we've got 1.73. And like I said, I'm just going to extend it a little bit. So up right here, that's going to be 1.75, right? So I'm going to just do a little bit before that. And that's going to be my 1.73. Oh, we're going to put the square root of 3, right? Don't forget, we want to put the original format. So we're going to put square root of 3. Everybody good? And then we've got 1.57. So 1.55 is right in the middle. 1.57 is right about here. So this is going to be pi over 2. And then 1.6, that's an easy one. And that's 160%. And now we have 1.36. Here's 1.35, and so 1.36 is right about here. Does everybody get me? So this is going to be 1.35 bar notation over the 5. And here we go. So now, when you plot them on the number line, you're going to label them with the original format. Is everybody clear? Okay. So here we've got first a negative square root of 60. we've got the negative 7 3/5. That's this one, negative 7.6. And then we've got the negative 66/9 right there. And we've got negative 7 up here. Is everybody clear? Okay, example 4. So here we're going to use real numbers. So it says the table shows the on-base statistics for 3 players at a recent baseball tournament. Which player had the greatest on-base statistics? So here we just want to change all of these to decimals, right? Thank goodness we don't have to put these on the number line. We just have to use the information. So here we've got 15 out of 21. How do I write 15 out of 21? Yes, 15 over 21. And now we change that to a decimal. So 15 divided by 21. That gives us a big long decimal expansion. So let's write it out to the nearest thousand. Okay, so 0.7142 means it's going to be 0.714. Very good. 0.714. Now we have 14 19ths. So we're going to divide 14 divided by 19. And that's going to give us 0.738. So 0.7368, this is going to be 0.737. And now we have 72.5%. To change that to a decimal, we just take away the percent sign. So this is going to be 0.725. So, which player had the greatest on-base statistic? Which one is the highest? Player 2. Here is player 2. Is everybody clear? All right. So, example B says a teacher surveyed her students about their favorite type of pizza. On the students in her first period, 5/24 favored cheese pizza. In her second period class, 4 out of 19 favored cheese pizza. And in her third period class, 20% favored cheese pizza. In which class did the greatest fraction of students favor cheese pizza? So this one, we had to change each one of these to decimal. And I rounded out to the nearest thousand. Okay, so 5/24 is 0.208, then 20% is 0.2, and then I just added those 2 zeros there, placeholders, and then 4 out of 19 is 0.211. So the second period class is the one that had the greatest fraction of cheese pizza students. I mean, students who liked cheese pizza.